news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Afternoon, many thanks for joining us. I'm Nikki Atta. Here are the headlines. Osun, APC's defeat not Adeleke's trade-off for supporting Tinubu, Hakeem Baba Ahmed. 2027 presidency, I have no agreement with Tinubu, Governor Adeleke counters Kiamu. 2027, Ganduje's son dumps NDC after 3 months. Opposition coalition postpones August 18 summit. Army strengthens security along Sokoto-Kebbi border over Lakurawa threat. Police arrest man for allegedly setting wife ablaze. OMO yield premium attracts 4.97 trillion investor demand. And earthquake kills 54 and displaces over 12,000 people in Indonesia. Details of these and more after this break. Do stay with us.
You have gotten the contract.
Have you checked for red flags?
Red flag. What is a red flag? Allowing your company to fall into inactive status on the Corporate Affairs Commission portal is a red flag. Businesses marked inactive may come under watch for suspicious activities, money laundering, kidnapping, or terrorism financing.
Red flags.
Company remains active. File your annual returns every year. Corporate Affairs Commission, keeping your business safe and compliant.
A former political advisor to President Bola Tinubu, Hakeem Baba Ahmed, has insisted that the All Progressives Congress APC's defeat in Osun State is not a trade-off for Governor Ademola Adeleke's support for President Bola Tinubu ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Baba Ahmed insists that the people of Osun State would reject the APC again in 2027. Posting on his verified X handle, he wrote that he was not one of those supporting the conspiracy theory that the APC's defeat in the Osun governorship election is a trade-off for the governor's support for Tinubu in 2027. He said he prefers to believe that the Accord Party won fairly and that the APC can be defeated in fair elections. He also wrote that Osun State will reject the APC in 2027. And to confirm, the Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has refuted claims that he reached any agreement with President Bola Tinubu regarding his endorsement of the president for a second term in 2027. The governor made these remarks during an interview on Channels Television on Sunday. During the political program, Adeleke was asked whether his previous endorsement of Tinubu was based on a political or personal agreement, especially in light of the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyam's remark that an agreement is an agreement. In the Nigeria Democratic Congress, ND alone. The incumbent governor, Ademola Adeleke, who's Davido's uncle, had won the election for a second term after defeating his closest rival, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Oyebamiji. Adeleke won the election after polling 511 and 67 votes against Oyebamiji, who polled 444,815 votes. And the planned Tuesday, August 18, 2026 Opposition Summit in Abuja has been postponed by the organizers, the G100, to Monday, August 31, 2026. The shift was made to avoid a conflict with the National Peace Summit, also scheduled for Tuesday, August 18th. Organizers noted that the new date allows participating parties and the Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives more internal preparation time. In other news, following renewed threats linked to the Lakurawa terrorist group, the Nigerian Army has strengthened its security operations along the Sokoto-Kebbi border axis. The General Officer commanding GOC 8 Division Nigeria Army, Major General Bemga Paul Kugna, gave the assurance during an operational assessment visit to Kebe local government area of Sokoto State to assess the security situation and review the Army's deployment in the area. He assured residents that troops remain deployed in the area and were maintaining a high level of alertness to protect lives and property. The Kogi State Police Command has arrested a man, Jacob Irawa, for allegedly attempting to set his wife, Berida Irawo, ablaze during a domestic disagreement in Lokoja. The command disclosed this in a statement issued by its public relations officer, ASP Saliu Afusat. According to the statement, the incident reportedly occurred at Oworo Estate, Felele in Lokoja. The victim survived the attack and is currently receiving treatment at Honeygold Hospital in Felele in Lokoja. The police say the suspect admitted during a preliminary investigation that he had set his wife ablaze.
388-7277. Free TV. Digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Welcome back and straight into the world of business. Investors have placed 4.93 trillion naira worth of bids for the Central Bank of Nigeria's Open Market Operations OMO bills. This underscores the strong demand for high-yield short-term instruments amid elevated interest rates. The amount subscribed was more than 8 times the 600 billion naira the Apex Bank initially offered across 2 maturities, highlighting the growing attraction of OMO bills relative to comparable treasury bills. The CBN allotted 2.6 trillion naira, substantially above the amount initially offered. And onto the foreign scene, thousands of people displaced by a powerful earthquake in eastern Indonesia are awaiting aid on Monday as they camped out at schools, police stations, and government offices. The 7.7 magnitude quake, which struck early on Saturday, killed 54 people and injured more than 100. The number of people unable to return to their homes has risen to 12,800 by Monday morning, dispersed among several towns on Flores Island, Burton Swa, Pelita, and Panjaitan. Many Flores inhabitants are now preparing to sleep outside for a third night. After that bit of foreign news, we'll now join Abel Sunday for some sports news, after which we'll focus on the focus of the day. Stay with us.
Hello, welcome to PMB Sport News Updates. I'm Abel Sunday. Cameroon are WAFCON champions after defeating Malawi 3-0 to claim their first ever title. A first half brace from Manga and a Naomi Eto volley sealed the historic victory 52 respectively. And finally, the highly anticipated MBBF Zenith Bank Women's Basketball League officially kicked off yesterday in Lagos. The indoor sport hall of the National Stadium is absolute buzzing. Atlantic Conference action took center stage with mouth-watering matchups. Title defender Dolphins went toe-to-toe with First Deepwater, while giant First Bank faced the Royal Ace. This intense Lagos face runs until August 22nd, with teams to seal a ticket, fighting for a top 4 spot to seal a ticket to the final 8. And the bounce does not stop there. The Savannah Conference jumped into action today in Jos Plateau State, featuring powerhouses like the Air Warriors and Nigerian Custom. That's your PNB Sport News Update. I'm Abel Sunday. Over to Mickey to wrap up the rest of today's news analysis.
Thank you, Abel Sunday. And right away, we'll be moving on to the focus of the day. And we'll be looking at conspiracy theories on the outcomes of the Osun governorship election. Now, I'm going to be joined virtually to bite my tongue and chew on this topic by Azu Arinze. Azu Arinze is the publisher and editor-in-chief of Yes International Magazine. He's also the convener of the annual Yes International Magazine annual lecture. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, NGE. He's a chartered and of the Chartered Institute of Public Administration, CIPA of Nigeria. Azu, thank you for sparing the time this morning. You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. So nice to be here.
Yes, nice to see conspiracy theory that people are talking about now. And that is that the federal might allowed, in quotes, the election to go, or that there is an agreement between Ademola Adeleke and the APC, led by Tinubu, to support him for a second term, and he supports Tinubu for a second term. Now, you have met Ademola Adeleke, governor of Osun State.
Very closely with Governor Ademola Adeleke about 3 or 4 times. Incidentally, all our meetings were, I think the first time I met him was when he came for a lunch. He came over for a lunch at Bashawitele Momodu's home in Ikoyi. The second time, he came again for another visit. Then the third time was when Bashawitele Momodu had his 66th birthday, which I was fortunate to have anchored. That was, so, but the truth is, if you ask me to sum Governor Adeleke up, I would just describe him as a jolly good fellow. And if we want to tell ourselves, I've also seen on the television, they said that Adeleke has done very, very well in the last 4 years. Beyond that, he's a man of the people. I mean, his dancing skills, the fact that he could easily mingle and interact with the people will always make a difference. And in politics, those are some of the things that usually count. On the whether they would have done anything is possible in politics. Anything. They could have gone into any deal, they could have gone into any agreement. So we can't rule out that as far as this issue is concerned. But the truth is, he was a popular candidate and he has defeated them fair and square. They should just go home and prepare for 2030 when the next election will be coming up. That's just my own candid assessment of what has transpired in he was disallowed from joining them. And I also heard that in the course of the meeting, he had pledged his allegiance, his loyalty, his support and everything, but that they should just allow him to complete his 2 terms. So now that he has gotten it, whatever thing anybody is saying, like Fela will say, is the cup of tea. That's the truth.
Yes, in fact. And then this is not even the first. This is not the first. This is not the second. This is not the third. To me, it's it just looks like a normal. We have the Anambra State governor who's seated on seat right now, and he's in Abga. He has now taken his second term, and he had also said categorically that at presidential level, he'll support the president for election, because this seems to be the Nigerian thing. Every single time you lose, you land yourself in court. Do you suppose that the APC is going to take a legal course of action over this election, especially considering that the win this time around is by a very wide margin? Do you suppose that the APC will still chart the course of a legal battle? That's one side of the question. The second side is, do you even think it will be worth their while?
Okay, now let me start from the second part of the question.
Okay.
Their while. I mean, the guy defeated them fair and square.
Right.
I mean, the margin is over 66,000.
Right.
That is one. Then secondly, whether or not they will go to court, of course they will. And let me tell you why.
Why?
Just to eat, they will look for loopholes and tell you, you need to explore this, you need to explore that, you need to do this, you need to do that. But the truth of the matter is that there was no way APC would have defeated that guy in that election. I don't know about what happened in 2030.
Right.
But as far as the just concluded election in Osun State was concerned, there was no way. The guy was very
structure, depend on structure in order to win elections. Now, with this structure or no structure,
also says something.
All right.
I don't want us to discount it. I don't want us to discountenance the importance of structures.
All right.
As far as politics is concerned.
Okay.
You need those structures.
Okay.
I mean, if the president had not written that letter, or if he had not stopped the EFCC, everybody would have believed that he was behind what the EFCC was trying to do by freezing the account of the state government. So immediately he wrote, I am in the media. When a president issues a statement, when the statement comes from the presidency, signed by the president himself, you will understand the gravity or the seriousness or the importance of that letter. So this one was personally signed by the president. It wasn't signed by any of his media aides. So you see that, he came out clean to say, my hands are clean. You know what I'm saying now? So, and a lot of people now started reading the president's body language. So that was one of the major things that worked for him. He had touched like, yes, well known. His elder brother's son, Davido, was also there. And if I decide to run for a governorship now, let's say
has no structures. It's the people. That's what we're coming to. It's the people, wasn't the structure.
No, they got it wrong.
They got it wrong.
It's just like saying, except I'm a bad father and a bad husband, you can't come to my home
Yes.
and you do an election to win me. No. I'm like the president of my home.
Okay.
So I know where all the dead bodies are buried. I know
Where the skeletons are hiding.
I know what to activate. I know what to do.
Okay.
So, a sitting governor.
All right.
Not just a sitting governor, but
Right.
a performing governor.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying now?
Yes.
You don't also, if we're talking about what theories are we even talking about now? Don't forget that as a sitting governor,
Yeah.
they said he didn't want to impose anybody on them. And I said, okay, let us go to the field and see what happens. It would have been very difficult for them to defeat
Adeleke.
State.
Okay.
Popular, he has touched lives from it. No. It would have been very difficult. You don't move against how do they say it? A moving train.
Right.
It was bound to win. Yes.
It was bound to win. Okay, well, that being the case, is there anything we can extrapolate from there?
Bound to win. Yes.
It was bound to win. Okay, well, that being the case, is there anything we can extrapolate from there into 2027? Or are you saying that it's going to be very, very difficult even for these opposition? Remember that tomorrow was supposed to be the day that the opposition, the coalition, was supposed to have a meeting and probably think about how to realign them. But that meeting has been postponed to August 31. Not 10 days, to August 15th. There've been so much shuffling backwards and forwarding, register this party, deregister the party, display the names, don't display the names. Do you think that Nigerians are very, very confident in the preparedness of the electoral umpire for the 2027 general polls?
The truth is, Nigerians are not. And I'm being frank. Like I said earlier, I don't know how to paint words.
Yeah, that's why we have you. We know you. Tell it like it is.
Yeah. I need to get their acts together. They should put their house in order. This dilly-dallying, going forward, going backward, going this way, going that way, cannot help us. And they have to prove to Nigerians that they are very, 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 very impartial. Yes, they have tried as far as the Osun election is concerned, but I think they should be able to do. They should put the house in order.
What business would they have had with the president's letter or not? And now that the question marks in Osun State, then what business would they have had with the president's letter or not? And now that they've had the presidential directive, what's going to happen in other situations, maybe where somebody wasn't, like they say, maybe the person was not even, have they been able to show to Nigerians that they're impartial because they played a major role in this particular election?
All right. That's a place of time in anything and everything that we do. EFCC came into the equation at the wrong time. And that is one of the things that will continue to count against them. That will also continue to be a big dent on the leadership of Olukayode, right? Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yes.
As far as his chairmanship of the EFCC is concerned.
Right. Some are even calling for him to resign.
Yes. If they knew that something was wrong, they could have done that much earlier.
Yeah.
How long ago they said? I know by law they could do that, or they are entitled, they are empowered to do that.
Yes.
But our grounds is that they came in at the wrong time. There was no way they could have been able to explain it.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have 36 states. 36 states and the federation. It's only Osun. Only Osun was the one that there was a financial issue. And the financial issue was just discovered 3 days to the election. And you froze the account of no, you found financial problem in economic. Don't expect mudslinging campaigning to continue in our body politic. What should we expect? Because we have just a couple of days before everything is expected to kick off.
All right. Like I said earlier, I'm also going to be very, very frank and brutal now.
Right.
Mudslinging has become part and parcel of our politics.